Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl, Nicole Ryan with Debt Diva. How is everyone today? You ready to talk about finances? Money and finances and everything around it is one of those things that a lot of times in families we do not like to discuss. Do you know that there are people that will not even look at bills or even pay attention to their bank statements or anything because of the fear and the fret of finances? Well, let's talk about it today. I decided today that our topics are going to be debt, credit, and living within our means. Can you handle that today? I think you can. Now, if you're new to the show, make sure you go back and look at some of the archives on YouTube, KPAO, and follow us on Mondays and Fridays when we air. This topic, you can never exhaust finances because there's so many new things happening all the time, whether it's new tax laws or student loan recovery and just so much different items that happen all the time. And I know this because I've been dealing with finances for over 25 years, and I've been on your side for over 15 years trying to give you the knowledge and wisdom and understanding so you know how to budget, you know how to save, you know how to raise the credit scores, etc., etc. So let's start. One thing that's been on my heart is this credit card debt, you guys. We have soared over $1 trillion in credit card debt. And let's look at that $1 trillion and then let's look at the 20 to 33% APR. And don't look at it as your credit card balance, but just look at I think it's 1.3 trillion. And imagine that these lenders are getting over 20% in APR. And you wonder why these banks are popping up all over our city and states, because we're paying for it. It does not matter how you want to look at it. You walk into these fancy banks, brand new banks with the brand new everything. It's our money. It's your money. So let's talk about debt. You do not have a money problem. We do not have a money problem. We have a strategy problem. A strategy problem. And I know you're saying, but Nicole, you don't understand. I don't make enough money for X, Y, and Z. I assure you, doing this for over 25 years, that if you manage your money and you count all the costs, I guarantee you there's an area, and I'm not saying that circumstances don't happen. That's why we have bankruptcy laws. But what I'm saying is when we are solvent and we do have the funds, we've got to manage what we have. The difference between rich people and poor people, the majority of them, I'm not talking about the ultra rich, but even at some point with the ultra rich, they had to budget and manage. It's management. So we don't have a money problem. We have a strategy problem. So debt becomes dangerous when there's no structure to eliminate it. So here comes debt, right? Knock, knock, knock. Whether it's groceries, credit card bills, insurance, gas for our vehicles, it's debt. There's an expense. There's something that's owed that has to be paid. Sometimes it's traditional and we're paying it on a monthly basis. Other times it can be at random. But no matter how you look at it, at some point there is a debt. So as we're budgeting, it gives us the security to not be caught off, or be caught by surprise. Use a debt snowball or avalanche. I talked about this on a couple of the other shows. You want to make sure you use a debt snowball or avalanche and stay consistent. So what's that mean? You might get off track. Some emergency might pop up before the emergency fund is even available for use. It's okay. Once things start moving smoothly again, go ahead and get back on that snowball plan and start paying these items off. When I used to manage one of the largest collection agencies in the world, in the early 2000s, I used to have so much respect for our elderly generation. These were the people that did not have the money to pay the $15,000 credit card, but they still sent in something. And whether we accepted it or not, they said, you know what? $25 is the best I can do, and I'm going to send you that until I can do more or until it's paid in full. It may not ever be paid in full, given their age at the time, a lot of them. But you know what? It was just the integrity and the heart posture behind, I borrowed this money, I'm going to pay it back. And what you'll find out when you're working with collectors and these lenders, if you're honest, they will invite you into some privy information of how they can really write that whole thing off if they choose to. They have what's called an affordable allowance, and they have so many millions or so many thousands per year, per quarter, whatever their aggregate is for the month, that they can clear off the debt. So when you're working with them, I advise you to be kind and respectful. And if you are disrespected in any way, there are FDCPA laws, fair debt practices. So don't let them abuse you. Don't allow them to talk to you any kind of way. And you can sue them $2,000 per account. It may have went up, but just know that. So the first thing you do when you're taking care of debt and you're speaking with these people, you write down their name, you write down their identification number if they have one, the branch or location where they're working, who the original creditor is, and ensure that you are both talking about the exact same account and balance. I ask that you validate the debt, because the debt validation is going to make sure they didn't add some charges or there's any errors with something that you were charged. Just because you had Cox communication 3 years ago when you lost your apartment does not mean that that Cox communication bill is accurate. So please just ask them to send you an itemized statement and the contract where you signed off on the services or the product that you need to pay back. I know that's a lot, you guys. I really get wrapped up in this because I'm so passionate about us all living free and having a debt-free life. And that doesn't mean that debt will completely resolve from your life. What it means is that you're financially stable and you can manage it, and you don't have to keep getting caught off guard if you blow a tire or you need to go buy a new battery, or not even just automobile maintenance, but there's a school program where your kids need X amount of dollars to be a part of it, or you know where I'm going with this. I want you to be financially stable and to have a cushion set aside so you don't have to fear or fret what's to come, all right? So use the debt snowball or avalanche and stay consistent. So the snowball plan is just paying off the smallest to largest, and the avalanche is the highest interest rate first. You pay off those accounts first. Create a separate get out of debt account. I really like this. I learned this from Gary Cassey with Forward Financial. He is a debt eliminator, kind of like a Dave Ramsey and a Susie Orman. If you're not following him on social media, please start to follow Gary Cassey. I believe it's Keese. He applies a lot of biblical principles to debt freedom, but he has been helping millions become debt free for many, many years. And they even have a debt-free program that if you reach out to them, I'm certain they have people in the city and state of Omaha, Nebraska. I used to work for them years ago, but if they don't, I guarantee you there's somebody nearby our city and state that can contact you and show you how you can be out of debt, including your mortgage, in 5 to 7 years. Yeah, I didn't believe it either until I started working for him, and it is possible, you guys. So use the debt snowball or the avalanche and stay consistent. Create a separate get out of a debt account. That's the one where it's called a God account, like God. But you can go to a different bank account, open up this bank account, and put your debt elimination monies in there. So if you're only able to put 25 a paycheck, so what? Don't beat yourself up. I guarantee you after a while, if you let it just unconsciously go into your account, like let your HR department, your payroll department know. Most of those direct deposit options give you 1 to 2 bank options, and you can have that money distributed wherever you want it to. I recommend Carver Legacy, which is a part of American National Bank, because they are for our community here in Omaha, Nebraska. And you can go to any American National Bank and just let them know Lana Solutions sent you and open up that get out of debt account. It just has to be like a savings account, but don't mix it with your personal accounts or your business accounts. No, it has to be an account. It can automatically go in there and you stay away from it. And as it starts to build, you'll have your $1,000 for your emergency fund, right? And then you'll have your 3 to 6 months of savings. You can start investing and so much more. And you're going to be like, wow, I was able to build this on just a small amount. Yeah. And if you want to build it faster, contribute more. But if you're not able to, it doesn't matter. Start somewhere. I always think about I always refer to them as the older folks. I need to refer to them as the wise folks. But I always think of some of the scenarios with older people, how they would put money under their bed or in pillowcases. And people probably still do it. I am not making fun of you. And then later on, the families, after they pass away, find all this money. And it's those scraps, right? That's where our riches are. I've been teaching that for years. It's in the pennies, the nickels, the dimes that we just throw away and we just act like, this is nothing. Start putting it in a piggy bank. And I guarantee you, as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and you cash it in, you would be surprised how many hundreds and thousands of dollars you have. And maybe that's where you need to start. Maybe it is just investing in a penny bank and just start putting your change or extra dollars or whatever in there and cashing it in every month. But graduate and open up that get out of debt account and have your direct deposit. Shoot 25, 50, 100, 1,000, however much you can afford every 2 weeks, straight into that savings. And I prefer a high yield savings account. But right now you're just getting started. So don't worry about all that. We can connect you to the wealth gurus, investment and wealth management builders, whenever you're ready for that, okay? I know several would love to talk to you, even for free. You can always reach out to Lana Solutions if you're interested. Create the separate get out of debt account. Debt doesn't control you. Lack of a plan does. So if we are failing to plan, you guys, we have to make sure that we're planning and managing, because all it's going to do is give us a roadmap to stay consistent on. That way there's no guesswork. And I hate to refer to it as meal planning, but you guys, it's just money management. Just plan where your money's going to go. You see the same paycheck, most of us, every 2 weeks. You can allocate $20 of that unconsciously to a get out of debt account. All right? So when they come knocking and banging for their monies, you can say, hey, Mr. Collector or Mrs. Collector, I only have $100 right now, but I'm building up my account so that I can pay you more. However, if you're willing to settle at a lesser amount, just let me know what you're offering. And as I'm building this account up, I'll take care of you as soon as possible. Please take care of your traditional expenses first. Do not let here in Omaha, Nebraska, for the most part, OPPD, MUD, your rent or your mortgage payment, having gasoline for your car payment, your auto insurance, right? And your groceries, your four walls, like Dave Ramsey calls it, of our house, that has to be taken care of first. So if you've fallen behind on that, you either are living outside of your means, which we'll hopefully get to today, and you might have to downgrade. I have had clients move in with their parents in their basement with kids. It's time to wake up. We got to do whatever we need to do when we have other options to not just spend, which means to throw away our money. Some of us have too much house and we're house poor. Some of us have too big and too fancy of a car and we're automobile poor, and it's a depreciating asset, and we need to start to scale back. And I have had people turn in their BMWs and so much more when it comes to this getting out of debt and being financially free and stable. Why not us? Why not you? Why not me? Let's take inventory and let's start budgeting and let's get out of debt in 2026, okay? We're almost at April, you guys. This recording is St. Patty's Day, but even if it comes across your screen at a later time, it's never too late to start saving and start managing our money, okay? All right, number 2, credit. Credit is a tool, not an identity. Now, I know back in the good old days with the Diners Club, right, card and Yonkers and JCPenney's, and you would flash that wallet and you had all them credit cards in there. It's not cute in 2026 because it's just debt. There's nothing cute about having a ton of credit cards that you have to pay on. It's borrowing, all right? And that's how you have to look at it. Focus on payment history when it comes to your credit score, utilization, and the account age. All of these are going to help raise that credit score. Keep utilization under 30%, ideally under 10%. That means only use 10% of the available balance, okay? That's your utilization. Don't close accounts. Structure them wisely. If you're going to have them open, structure them wisely so that your algorithm will give you a higher credit score. Good credit is built by consistency. There's that word again, consistency, not quick fixes. And I can attest to that because I've been helping people raise credit scores for over 26 years now. All right? Consistency in financial management and credit works. Number 3, living within our means. It's discipline over desire. Income doesn't matter if expenses rise to meet it. Separate needs, wants, and lifestyle inflation. That's that house poor we talked about. Assign every dollar before spending. You have to give your money an assignment. I don't care if you can't have the $5 Frappy in the mornings. You have got to change that. If you have more month than money and you're not able to take care of bills or build a savings account or buy life insurance or have full coverage auto insurance in case of an accident. These are the things we need to be thinking about when we're throwing away $5 to $8 every morning because we just have to have our Starbucks. Since when? Years ago, we didn't even have a Starbucks or scooters. People were drinking Folgers. I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to keep it as real as I can with you guys, because when I'm sitting down with these people and they're crying and they're getting ready to lose their home and they're being garnished and they can't even buy groceries. It's not funny. It's not a laughing matter. And even coming in here, it had me thinking of our elderly generation and how a lot of them are still having to work. I seen a segment on social media where this older gentleman was door dashing to try to make ends meet. And I'm certain he had probably worked his entire life. And circumstances do happen. But outside of that circumstance, we have areas of opportunity where we can save that quarter, that dollar, that dime, and start putting it away for a rainy day, which for a lot of us coming real soon is retirement. And I don't know about you, but when I'm in my retirement stage, I want it to be comfortable. As much as I love my kids, I still want to make sure the will and the estate and the burial and everything is fine-tuned. So if I have to go to any type of an assisted living place, right, that I have everything already set up, you guys. This is all financial management. And even if you're not in a position financially and you are at retirement age to do these things, it costs you nothing to start to educate yourself on what it looks like and talking to people so you can change the trajectory for you and your family. And maybe it's just you. Do it for yourself so you can live the rest of your life comfortable. And you may not be able to go get the Starbucks. You may not be able to just vicariously spend, right? It's St. Patty's Day. I now have a consensus when it comes to holidays. On average, we spend anywhere from $100 to $200 on every single holiday. That equates to billions of dollars every holiday. Well, guess what? St. Patrick's Day, Easter, 4th of July, Christmas, it's all coming upon us again. Why wouldn't we create a budget for each of these holidays and so much more? I know I'm getting a little drastic with it, you guys, but just start somewhere, okay? Even if you have to start small, start somewhere. That's assigning every dollar. That's what those budgets do for you and I. And even if you mess up, start over again. Adjust your budget. Get a second job while you can. If need be, younger folks, a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth income. Even for my elderly generation. Write the book. Do whatever is on your heart that's going to make life easier for you. You won't know unless you try. Connect with the different nonprofits and programs here that have free tax filing available, right? What's some other stuff? Free transportation and transportation grants to help you. There's just so many nonprofits in Omaha, Nebraska. Last time I checked, we had over 5,000. Please start tapping into these resources that can help you not only get out of debt, but help you get financially stable so you don't have to continue to struggle and strive every single day. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but sometimes it takes a village, a whole community to get behind each and every one of us to help us get things in order, okay? All right, so if your lifestyle grows faster than your income, debt will always follow. Financial freedom isn't about how much you make. It's about how well you manage what you keep. And that is on all levels. So whether I'm sitting down with the multi-million-dollar business or the small mom and pop business, or the single mother on welfare, or the married couple. One thing that I found that most of them have in common is just a lack of management and really believing that we can buy the shoes, the clothes, the lattes, the big house today, and then everything will just work out. Well, you know what? Let's stop doing guesswork and let's manage our money, all right? Let's get into those bank statements. Let's highlight everything that we can adjust and use for our savings and our investments and our peace of mind account, right? We don't have to call it an emergency fund. We can say, hey, I'm setting aside $1,000 for a peace of mind. Hey, I'm setting aside 3 to 6 months to a year of my traditional expenses for a peace of mind. I'm buying in bulk. I'm checking on different sales, out of season. When you're going to buy, this is the best time to buy winter clothes because a lot of the summer clothes are being set out. You can buy out of season. You can go in thrift stores and find beautiful gems. You can get on Facebook Marketplace, overstock.com. What I'm trying to say, you guys, is that it's 2026. And I bet you if you really sit down and start to do the homework, you will be able to become more financially savvy and save and invest and stop all that spending. Every time you spend, I hope you hear me saying, I'm throwing it away. So when you're working those hard-earned hours, you realize when you're running into a grocery store to get dinner, and then you're in the checkout aisle, and you're grabbing these other items on your way there, you're just unconsciously spending and throwing away money. So prepare a list before you go into the marketplace. And there's so many other things you can do. But if you don't do anything today, all I want you to do is take the time to create a budget for 2026 and follow it consistently, okay? And continue to watch Debt Diva on Mondays and Fridays because we're going to give you all that we have available to give you when we're here. And so if it's in the news, and that means there's trillions of dollars in credit card debt, that lets me know you and I have a bunch of credit cards. And that means we need to cut back, all right? Student loans, it's in the news. So we need to figure out a way we're going to manage those student loans. And if you need help and you mention KPAO, I will talk with you and try to help you as much as I can, okay? Your girl, Nicole Ryan with Lana Solutions, your Debt Diva. Have a beautiful, beautiful day or night, whatever time it is you're watching me. Bye.